There we go. And just going to post the rules real quick. Gonna have a little sip and welcome to the stream. Oh, we already have 3 viewers. Hello, 3 viewers. So, of course, we're gonna start by talking about what has happened this week. I didn't really do any art. Hi, Paul. I'm doing great. I didn't really do any art yesterday because, honestly, I had a really busy day. I did do art this week, and that's what we're going to talk about because it was fun. I received a bunch of stuff this week. One thing I'm not going to show, but if you've been on my social media, you probably have seen. It's my new brush rinser because my mother commandeered my previous one. And I got it in pink because why the fuck not? It's right there. I'm looking at it. I'm not showing it though because it still has water in it. And if I try to pick it up, I'm going to get the water all over my keyboard and nobody wants that. One of the other things I got was my foiling kit. Foiling kit for Cricut, of course, so the foiling, instead of being heat and / toner activated, besides I don't even have a toner printer, it's inkjet. I received the pressure one, and I made tests, which I have posted on my Facebook page. Boy, they're shiny. They're so shiny. So the first one, they're both golden metal slime from Dragon Quest Adventure of Dai, and they're traced. So I've been debating putting them in the shop. If I am to put them in the shop, I will specify that they're traced. The only reason they're traced is because there are tests. So we got the first test here on the Fluid 100 watercolor paper, which I have grown to love. It is 100% cotton. It's right here for this size. Because Desire only had, the smallest size Desire had at the moment was 6x8. It does come in 4x6 too, and I was hoping to get the 4x6, but well. There's less pressure when it's smaller. It's glued on top and bottom, of course. But in order to run this into my Cricut machine, I had to take the sheet off and really minimize because there's not really that much warping. It's like one big warp, which is still better than thousands of little warps. You can still put this in a frame and it would look good. So the thing with the first test, I don't know if... there we go, perfect. It's focusing for once in its life. As you can see, the thing with Cricut is that when it comes to line art, it really, really likes to double it for no fucking good reason. But it's shiny. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. I almost had some light. There we go. It's so shiny. It's golden foil. Because what I wanted to know is if, you know, scientific method, can I use watercolor after getting some foil on it? Will the water eat the foil? The water may eat the foil if you're really rubbing hard. As you can see, the bottom lip of Gome disappeared here. Then I put a lot. I wanted a tie-dye effect for the first time in my life. Instead of the color has to be perfectly even. Yeah, burping. There's gonna be a lot of that if it's your first time watching me stream. I need a floodlight right here, but I have no room and it's pissing me off. But yeah, so of course, what to do when you want to see if you can do something? You jump on YouTube. And turns out you can. Second test, right here, exact same character. This is why I used a pre-made asset. Well, pre-made. I traced it. I got it straight off the wiki. Because I didn't want to work really hard on a drawing and then having to test it 3-4 times and be like, ugh. I don't know if you guys can see. It looks a little bit embroidered texture because the only way to really trick the Cricut into filling in a form is to have it draw constant lines. So yeah, there's a tutorial on YouTube for that. I don't have it linked right now, but I'm pretty sure I have it linked in the album/post where I posted this online. If not, I have no problem relinking it again on social media if need be. Also, I learned from the first test and the second time I did that watercolor look on Gome. It's a lot less patchy. I'm learning. And the white here, instead of being done with gouache, was done with Posca pens. Much cleaner. So yeah, now I can do some shiny line art. But one thing I've been wanting to do, once I try to do it a little seriously, is try to combine the doubled line and then with the filling, so that I have some nice even lines instead of that little embroidered look, which between you and me doesn't look that bad. All I'd have to do really is set the line art to foil, duplicate the layer, hide the line art layer, do the thing to fill in, to do the filling, and then bring the layer back and then merge them or weld them, because they want to use the word weld, together, and then you'd have the line and the filling in, and it'll be cleaner. But I'll do that on another piece. I also received, because I'm lucky like that, after a year of waiting, but that was not their fault. Their printer kind of didn't disclose everything, to put it politely. My Kickstarter reward for the Gold Key Boris Karloff book, which I didn't even look inside yet, but I had received a PDF of the stuff that was in it, so I know what's in it. So let's take a look. See, I got the soft cover because I'm Canadian and that's all I could afford. Oh, whoa, okay, wow. Okay, this is a genuine reaction because I didn't open it yet. Oh, this is bright. Oh, this is... I'm getting saliva all over it from the surprise. Alright, I'm gonna show you, because I knew it was like all new art from current artists. And this was actually one of my favorite stories from the PDF. And I don't think the camera is doing justice to how bright and saturated the colors are. And that is not a complaint, mind you. You guys know how much I love color. I gotta find a way to get in one of the future issues. I mean, look at that. This is gorgeous. It was worth waiting the entire year. Plus that cover. Do I need to talk about the cover? I'm sure they use True Grit for this. Of course, it will not focus because, God forbid, can you see the tone texture? I'm sure they use True Grit for this. Conrad, Hurd McKinney, Jock, Nazaroff, Orlando, Thrakanoff, and Williams. Assuming I pronounced that right. Ooh, there is some sketches at the end. And some nice credit. There's a bit of There's a bit of scripting, which is showing us Hello, Night Vanguard. I'm showing you the Kickstarter reward I got for supporting the Boris Karloff Gold Key Kickstarter. Because I'm very happy I got it. I waited a year for it. I'm not in it, sadly, but I will be bothering them a little bit, see if I can be in one of the future issues. And because the printing was taking so long, once again, not their fault, I got a bonus poster for free. Isn't it pretty? It's even dressed like me. It's got a bathrobe and everything. And finally, something I honestly had no idea I was going to get. I knew about the poster. I did not know about this. Because if it was included, I had completely forgotten. It's a real Gold Key comic from 1972. I checked on the inside. They got me a little Porky Pig. A little Gold Key Porky Pig. That one I did look inside, though. That's how I knew what year it was. So that was pretty cute. That made me very happy. I supported a horror anthology, and I got a little Porky Pig comic out of it. Oops, I should probably put the sleeve over here again. There we go. Now I'm gonna make everybody cringe because I am cracking my fingers, because that's a thing I do. And we are going to go to my Wacom screen, and that was random. Oh, everything in my life is random. That's how my webcomic is 8 years old. Now I should probably clear that screen. I am done with that, and yeah. Boop, there. And I just gotta hide my camera so you guys can see my screen. And we are going to get started on what we're here for, watching me draw my webcomic. There! Nice and even. Of course. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Annan. Yeah, I've been working in the background a little bit to try and get all my bots to work together. Now, if only I could get stream avatars to work correctly again, that would be a lot more fun. The error is not on my end. Sadly enough, I can't do a thing. What is your webcomic about? Me! Because I am egotistical. And weird shit happens to me. That's mostly it. A lot of weird shit. 8 years worth of shit so far. What's going on with my phone? Yeah, that's what I thought. Because yesterday I finished a page of Barbarian Queen Charybdis. Because talking about Kickstarters, we had one last year in November. So you guys could get the first issue of Barbarian Queen Charybdis, and I'm still working on it. But that's okay. It should be. Normally it should be ready for when we start shipping them out. It's because there's a lot of stuff that comes with it, and I did not same except for 12 years. So you have a 12-year-old webcomic? Is that what you're saying, buddy? Because if you do, that's awesome. Like, let's be honest, just with the Grand Theft Auto saga, it's hard for people to believe the stuff that happens to me. Because everything fell perfectly like it was scripted. Wait, is the... yeah. Not a comic, but like a classic style comic. Oh! Sounds like somebody is a hard worker. Sounds like somebody is going to tell us the name of their comic. See if I can go and find it, because the normal watchers aren't allowed to post links because we had a big problem with bots and trolls for a while. That's why the links are limited to just me and my mod. But if we got artists and watching today, I love sharing and seeing what you guys do. I drew myself with a big head. Gonna cut that down a little bit. Like, I'm egotistical, but there's a limit. Just need her to be a little bigger. Now I'm just looking at the chat constantly, see the replies. I try to normally, it's just sometimes I get so focused on what I'm doing, I forget. Oops. I'm gonna copy that one. Snap, crackle, pop, Kellogg's Rice Krispies. See, I'm doing it again. I'm focusing. And I stopped talking. That's what happened. Most of the time I can do two things at the same time, but not when I start focusing. Text list. If I remember, oh, most of the comic gets done when you stop talking, which is about 10% of the time. Yeah, but I gotta do some talking. I mean, this is why this is a stream. Can't all be just my music. Which, despite being set to YouTube safe, some people still want to copyright strike my music. I gotta check. Though I think they're ignoring me on purpose. The people that copyright struck like 2 videos ago. One of the songs. Because I am fighting it. I did fight it. But they're letting it stagnate. Thinking I would forget. Not realizing how petty I am. I do know that I have bad memory due to ADHD, but I have great memory due to being a petty little shit. Twitch crashed, never got to publish my work, but I did help on the creation of the one-shot Sunset that was made back in 2012. Alright. So we have something to start ourselves with. Ooh! Oh, and it's on eBay. For Image Comic? 2012 series, very fine comics, but oh, I gotta see how much it is on eBay. Oh, come on. At that quality, it should be higher than that. Shipping, $25. Oh, that's why. Well, if you helped on that, you should publish your work, or at least post it online, because that looks good. If I got the right one, but it's like Sunset in 2012. So guys, if you want to look it up, Sunset Image Comics, as spelled like Night Vanguard did, 2012. They always try and get you with the shipping. It's true. It's totally true. eBay used to be a good place to get secondhand stuff, but like, you get like this one-armed G.I. Joe about this tall, and it's like $5 and then $200 shipping, and I'm like, dude, I could drive to your place. Another thing that drives me up the wall with eBay is when I see some of my sketch cards on it, and it's like $65. I've seen one at $128, and I was like, well, first of all, I'm not dead. Why are you pricing it like that? Secondly, I clearly remember being paid $5 for that card. Why is all that $165 not going to me is what I'm asking. I'm the one that worked on the card! And I mean, that's the good cards that I made, because nobody's talking about the Vibranium set. Every time I talk about the Vibranium set, I can feel my heart sink for how bad that set was. And obviously, I am not shitting on the other artists. I am absolutely shitting on the surface we had to work on. Because of it, I was stuck with this whole collection of Sharpies, and I hate Sharpies with every fiber of my being. I got the big G.I. Joe Firefighter and Navy Firefighter still in mint condition in box. Oh, the big ones, the Barbie-sized ones. Oh, take good care of that. Those are rare and in demand. Tu sais parler anglais, Sharon. Arrête ça. Pronounce your words. I'm getting really annoyed with myself sometimes. Like, really annoyed. My 80s claim to fame is owning some really old ponies from Gen 1. Like, I got one of the original 6 with the flat feet. That's how you know it's not a re-edition, because they all have hollow hooves. Because one of my friends got me started talking about it. I've been looking on eBay and other auction sites for a Goldorak figurine about this big. Or it could have been a little smaller. I mean, I was 6 when I had one. And of course, the shipping is a freaking nightmare. And if you want anything nicer, then the prices go I just want a little bit of merch of Goldorak. I'm not asking much. I do believe you guys might know him better as Giant Rebel Grendizer. Or Gold Drake. His name is Goldorak. I don't care who you are. What sucks about trying to get merch when you got adult money is that the people making the merch know you have adult money. Like, just look at the price of a Proplica nowadays. Like, just for the Moonstick, if you're lucky, it's $95. I'm pretty sure I still have the price tag on my moon rod. That was like, what, $25.95? By Irwin, because Irwin was the one making the dolls at the time for Sailor Moon, where I live. And honestly, they were prettier than the other ones. The Bandai ones, for the North American market, oh my god. I tried to eat Nickelodeon Gak when I was younger. Did you now? Can you imagine I read that out loud and then somebody makes a clip of that and that's all it said, that's all it is in the clip, me saying that? So how was it? I mean, I'm an artist. I've stuck all the ends of my glitter pens against my tongue to try and clean them out because I'm also an idiot. So, how did that little science experiment go for you? Sometimes you gotta ask yourself, did they really do that, or are they just making me say weird shit because they notice I read out loud the chat posts? Because you gotta remember, there was that one guy that tried to make me do the, if you pretend to shake salt over your tongue, you will really taste the salt. And like we all know what that is, it was horrible. See? You had a hypothesis, you put it into practice, and you wrote down the results. That was a science experiment. You learned something. Never do that again. Oh, I did do it. We did get slime where I live, but never like branded slime. So it was like slime from those little quarter machines. And we would buy a couple and then use it on our Ninja Turtles, me and my brother. Kind of scoot that down slowly and surely. We're 16% funded on my art bin. More storage. Though in this case, it's mostly storage to organize my Ohuhu markers because they are technically loose in their big fabric bag and it's driving me completely nuts! Rad Racer original mix. I should have a betting pool going on. Which song is going to get taken down for copyright infringement on YouTube this time around? I paid a freaking license. I should be, like, literally, I paid you guys to be able to use whatever song you guys are claiming I stole. Corporations. At this point, Popski should be paying you for advertising. You don't have to read this out loud, but I have a copy of every original Xbox game demo disc, so I'm not really supposed to. Oh. Yeah, well. We all have some stuff we're not supposed to have. But usually what happens with that stuff is that either people put it on eBay and other people decompile them. Or people get on your case, you should put that on the Internet Archive! Like, somewhere I have, like, a demo disc of Diablo 2 that included the entire game of Diablo 1 for PC. And it was then that I learned that I really don't care about randomized dungeon crawlers. Twitch crash, what did you say? I said that what happens with what you have is that either people put it on eBay and then other people buy it and decompile it and put it online, or you start getting hounded to put it on the Internet Archive. Which is not a bad thing, mind you. I mean, if any of you guys are old enough to know about the Commodore 64 and how it works and stuff like that, you're not the only one that has a lot of games you're not supposed to have. And we'll leave it at that. You guys like my mom's short haircut? She looks really good with it. Well, we're gonna save. Gonna be shut down in July for this year, and over 200 games are gonna be lost because Microsoft Xbox doesn't want to archive them. Well, I'm not gonna say it, but we're all gonna think it. Yo ho ho. That's all I'm saying about that. Je pense que le message est clair. That also means that the physical copies are going to skyrocket in price. My favorite part is when they do that, they refuse to archive the games, and they refuse to put it back on the next market that they decide to create, if they decide to create another one. And then they turn around and complain, why won't people buy the new games? Why people buy second-hand games? Because that's all we can get! Why people pirate games? Because that's all we can get! You can't make me believe it's just because... It's because people don't want to spend money on our games. I own... Let me count real quick, okay? SNES, PlayStation 1, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, PSP, and the Pixel Remaster. I own 6 copies of Final Fantasy IV, okay? All paid. That I bought and rebought and rebought and rebought. I think only the SNES one was a second-hand one because, well, by the time I had adult money, the game was, like, long discontinued, you know? So it's not a thing of people don't want to rebuy the games. It's the availability. And not even that. Final Fantasy IV isn't even my favorite Final Fantasy game. It's just that they didn't put out a DS version remake / of Final Fantasy VI. 6 is my favorite. And of course I have multiple Final Fantasy VI too. Obviously. Heck, I have a figure of Kefka back there. I have 2 of them, in fact. I had bought one for myself and one for my brother, and then when my brother moved out, he gave me basically all the remastered figures that I have given him. He gave them all back to me. So now I've got 2 Kefkas. Like, I'm not necessarily asking that they re-release a full-ass SNES. So, and then re-release SNES cartridges. That's not what I'm asking. Just make them available. Yeah, in case it's not clear, I play Nintendo games. Like, I've never touched an Xbox for reasons that close fans know. And my most recent PlayStation is the PSP, because I have a PlayStation 2 and a PSP. That's it, that's all she wrote. Because quite honestly, like, past 10, because I did enjoy 10, even if I never beat it, Final Fantasy's kind of tapered off for me. I don't find them as interesting. They don't feel creative. Especially not after what I saw in 15. When you got to play as either the ambiguously white Asian guy, the ambiguously white Asian guy, the ambiguously white Asian guy, or the tall ambiguously white Asian guy. I also have one of every demo kit of the Xbox line, PlayStation line, some Nintendo consoles. We have a fellow nerd. That is nice. But, like, I'm big on RPGs. So, of course, I have a PlayStation 2 that's backward compatible with PlayStation 1, because PlayStation 1/2 always had a really nice RPG lineup comparable to the SNES one. And, like, I'm RPG all the time. Sometimes I'm a platformer, but it's mostly Mario, because I like Mario. He's cute. Come on. There we go. Was having a little hiccup. And for those who don't know, the reason I do not like Xbox is because of the Xbox 360. I used to work in a video game section of a computer shop at one point. The trouble that frickin' console gave me. I have words and not one of them is polite. And of course, when I say that I don't like Xbox, what I really mean is I don't like the Xbox 360 for hardware reasons, because there's always going to be somebody that's going to be mad. But, like, all the friggin' times that friggin' thing came back with a red ring of death at the time. Like, it was at the point when I was selling one, I was warning the customer what to do with it to have it last. Best example, and that of course was turned into a bootleg cookie, was when I had this customer buy a 360, and I told them, you do not look at it when there's a game in it. Whether it's running or not, if there's a game in it, you do not touch it. You don't look at it. You don't breathe in the same room as it. That's how sensitive it is. And of course, they were like, haha, so funny. And I was like, I'm serious about the touching. If there is a game in it, whether it's running or not, if there is a disc in the console, do not touch it. That customer came back 2 weeks later. It ate the game. What did you do with it? My son was playing, so I picked up the console and dusted under it while I was doing the cleaning. And what did I tell you not to do? Oh, you were serious? Yeah! And yeah, I said it like that with a big sarcasm, intonation, and everything. Yeah, I was serious. She didn't get a refund. They were rushed out early. And then tried to get customer service for that console. I would consider it a miracle every time I did get some customer service, and I think I got customer service once. Otherwise, they either wouldn't pick up the phone, or they would promptly refuse whatever I needed them to do. Now, does that mean I hate the Xbox One, or the Xbox X1, or whatever the hell they're up to now? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about a Ring of Death on those ones, so I have no complaint about them. I never tried them either, so I have no opinion about them. I just know that the Xbox 360 is firmly planted upside my rectum. I hate it so much, for hardware reasons. It's probably why I'm on high blood pressure medication now. I was not very interested in the Xbox library, but that doesn't mean the games are bad. Gotta be realistic too there. The best 360 they made was the 360E. It had a wireless Wi-Fi connection. It looked like a downgraded original Xbox One. Was I at the shop for that one? I don't remember. It's been a while. But like, you can't make me believe that when it worked, the 360 was a bad console, because it was a very good seller. So the ones that worked were very good consoles. At the same time, I have PTSD from the frickin' thing. They made many different models and special editions. It's not funny. Yo, I know. I was there. But like, it's not like I'm gonna judge people for liking the 360. The ones that like the 360 probably had one that worked the entire time. They took good care of it. Like, personally, I find it dumb to judge a person by what they like in the console. What kind of console they like. Because I'm just like, you have games that you enjoy to play? Good! That's it. That's my opinion. You enjoy a console that gave me war flashbacks? Good for you! You can find enjoyment in it. Damn thing's not entering my house. I have a couple special edition consoles myself. Like, only a couple. I have a Link Between Worlds 3DS XL, and I have a God of War PSP. Can you tell the God of War PSP was secondhand? I don't play God of War. Not my style. I have all the Halo Special Edition consoles and the original Halo Xbox, but they all still in box, not opened. A collector. Personally, that's one of the things I look for when I'm looking for old stuff. Stuff that has already been opened. Because I don't want to collect. I want to play with the thing. Because like I do have a special edition 3DS XL, like I said. I play with it. I like playing with it. I don't want to just look at the box and wish of a time that could have been, you know? But that's my personal opinion on the stuff I own. If anything, I've kept the box for my upside down Applejack pony because the box is half the gimmick. You have to have the box to get the gimmick of that pony. It's kind of like with the NES craze and the problems with them. Oh, the NES. I have a NES. And the funny thing is, I only have a NES because my brother had a NES, and my mom didn't want me to be jealous. Because let's clear something out real quick. I call him my brother, but he's really my cousin. The thing is, we're only like 6 months apart in age. And up until age 5, we were raised together as siblings. So to me, he's my brother. And his mom would buy him whatever he wanted. And of course, my mom couldn't afford everything. But like when he got a NES, my mom didn't want me to be jealous. So she got me a NES. But I didn't want a NES. I bought 2 of each so I could play them. Man, see? Night Vanguard is thinking. They wanted one to play with, and they wanted one to preserve. Good on you for having that money. I wish. Because you know what happens when I get money? I pay my bills and then I buy art supplies because I have no control on my life. Like, it's already a miracle that I do my best to control myself enough to pay my bills. Well, like, I should slack on the art supplies. Holy jeez. There's just so much stuff to experiment with. But like the NES, oh my god. Like, I still got some spare parts in case mine breaks down again because of the 72-pin connector. Because what happens with the front loader, because of course it's a front loader, it's not a top loader, which fixed the problem. It's a front loader, so you would push the cart in and then push it down to keep it stable. But what happened with the front loading pushing was that it would bend the connectors after a while. The connectors wouldn't connect to the game as well, and then it would flash. Then you would take it out, blow in it. The moisture would get the connections to work again, but it would also corrode your cartridge. Thankfully, none of my cartridges are corroded. Go figure how that happened. Then you would push it back in, and it would flash again. They would pull it out, or push it back in, and like after the 10th time, then it would work. So yeah, like, last time I actually fixed it, it was like 10 years ago, I think, 11 years. And I could buy a new 72-pin connector off of eBay. You could tell it was 10 years ago because the shipping was not ridiculous. And like, I got another spare one. And it was super easy to replace. Literally, all I had to do was pull out the old connector and push in until it snapped shut the new connector. And it worked like a charm. The games would boot, like, right away. And then there's the fact that a lot of the games that I own for my NES are fucking unplayable. That NES difficulty. Ding! Final Fantasy 1 hurts my eyes because of the super high contrast. Because the battle screen of Final Fantasy 1 is all black, and it's littered with what, it's like pure white frames. One around the enemies, one around you, one around your stats, one around the names of the enemies, and one around the menu. Like, after 10 minutes, I had to shut down the game because my eyes were like, ugh. I still do collect a lot of stuff from my childhood and the new stuff, if it's still a running franchise. Yeah, there's that. I do have some G4 ponies, like only the main 6 this big. I have a lot more G1 ponies because honestly, I like the look of the G1 ponies. They're cute. I'm just gonna hide the speech bubbles, or else we're going to have some white spots that we don't want. And yeah, my upside down Applejack is a more modern pony because now it's, what, 5 years old? Favorite character is Sephiroth. I like Terra. If we're talking about favorite characters in Final Fantasy VII, I would go for Red 13 personally. As you gotta admit, the guy is full of surprises. Like, he's all... I'm giving Mom my skin tone. That poor woman, she has more skin tone than me. I'm gonna fix that real quick. There we go. Because at first you think he's feral, but no, he's sentient. Then he's serious the entire time. And goes like, I'm 46 years old. And then you go to his hometown and turns out, oh yeah, mentally he's 16. I want to be a grown-up. You're 46! Then again, I'm 41 and I'm not exactly the most mature person in the room. So I can relate. I can relate to a sentient Charmander cat with a mohawk. With him, you never know what will happen next. I know what will never happen with Sephiroth, the end of the world. At least Kefka succeeded in ending the world. Sephiroth politely waits with his asteroid in the sky, just waiting for you to finish your side quest and get that golden chocobo. Not shitting on Sephiroth, it was a very enjoyable battle. I'm just saying. Kefka actually did destroy the world. If we're gonna have a fight in the chat, we're gonna fight about a clown or a guy with a really long sword. Here's something that was really weird for a while. There was an online fight against which one was better, Final Fantasy VI or Final Fantasy VII. Because there's always got to be a fight on the internet. And I'm like, They're both fantastic games. He has standards. Well, that's true. Sephiroth has standards. Kefka has none. Kefka does Kefka things. Like, they were both insane, but for different reasons. I mean, you find out Hojo is your father, you'd go nuts too, honestly. You'd go in denial too. Like, oh no, I have one parent and it's Genova, that's it. No arguing. This is my headcanon. Oh. Hi, Coco. I mean, we're already pissed off in the chat because we're comparing Sephiroth to Kefka. No, we're not, but... You gotta manufacture drama! Who wouldn't? Yeah. Like, Kefka was driven insane because he was forcibly injected with experimental Magitech technology. By the time Sephiroth came around, they kind of had that down pat, but he was still one of the first ones. He was the first one until that whole thing with... what was the name of that angel again? I don't have that game, so... Because they made one... I don't think it was the Zack game? Or maybe it was... Because I have the Vincent game, I don't remember if I have the Zack game. I don't think I do. I might. Where they had made a pre-Sephiroth that was based off a Japanese idol at the time, whose name started with G, I think. And like, he was the really first one, and he was better, and I don't care. That's why Kefka has the turkey laugh and Sephi does not. The turkey laugh that was used over 1,000 creepypastas. The spin-off? Yeah, the spin-off with Zack. I think that's the one that had the pre-Sephiroth that was better. You know, the fan canon Sephiroth that Hojo wrote before he gave birth to Sephiroth. Well, before his girlfriend, wife experimental thingy gave birth to Sephiroth. I wouldn't put it past Hojo, though. Anything for science. No, my experiments. My precious samples. Dude, you were trying to rule 64 a cat and a woman. Like, dude. You're not okay. This whole thing is not as edgy as you think it is. Like, I'm not shitting on Sephiroth, but we're all collectively agree we're gonna shit on Hojo. Okay, if I gotta pick between Kefka and Sephiroth, Kefka is gonna win. For my personal, because I have played Final Fantasy VI more than Final Fantasy VII. I own both on several consoles, and I love Final Fantasy VII. I prefer Kefka because he's freaking nuts. But I'm not gonna shit on Sephiroth because he's a very good character. Him but science. You've scienced enough for today, Hojo. Go home. Either drink something or don't drink. Whichever state of mind doesn't make you do this. In a way, Hojo kind of makes me think of that doctor that showed up for like 10 minutes of Final Fantasy IV. See, I have no memory, so I know who I'm talking about. His name? Completely gone. But, like, they actually bothered to write a character for him instead of just, hey, we put a scientist in our medieval game. Nice. At least Final Fantasy VII had the decency to have a scientist that matched the time period they put him in. You know you like something when you can, like, criticize the stuff that's wrong in it and still like the thing. Criticizing something does not necessarily mean that you hate the thing. Or that you need to be convinced that the thing is good. Sometimes a thing is just a thing. Maybe sometimes I like ridiculous stuff in my games. It's a game. I want to be entertained. The way you decide to entertain me is up to you. But I want to have fun. That's not too much to ask, is it? And thus, I like Final Fantasy VII about as equally as I like Final Fantasy VI. I have just about as much nostalgia for both games. But for some reason, though, I don't know why I'm not interested in the current Final Fantasy VII remake. I don't know why. Because, as was stated earlier, I have no problem rebuying the same game. I think they lost me when they decided to make Red 13, like, a non-playable character. And then I was like, nah. No thank you. And then they releasing it in chapters, and I'm like, nah, no thank you. Still sad he doesn't know who his real parents are. Maybe he knows and he's in denial. I would be. I mean, you read a lot of books in the Shinra Mansion. He must have stumbled upon something. Because Iris was in a similar boat and she didn't go nuts. So it must be something in the Hojo genes. The Ho genes, if you will. Oops. He thinks that Genova is his mother. Yeah, let him believe that. I don't think the game would have been as interesting if he knew that his real mother was Vincent's ex. Like, what was he going to do with that information? It's not as bombastic to dig up a grave and grab a skeleton than going into, like, a almost military compound / business tower to rip the head off a demigod. I mean, that's cooler, you gotta agree. Then go to Shinra's version of the cemetery, which is probably like a registry with little doors wherever the corpses are. They probably burned them to safe room. Like the first disc from Sephiroth's point of view would just be like, no, no, no. This would be easier when if I had a family name. No, no. So yeah, him thinking that Jenova is his mother, much better for the narrative. See, I told you I like Final Fantasy VII. I can talk about it. And in fact, I actually beat it for the first time last year because I like video games. I'm terrible at beating them. But now that I'm an actual grown-up, I find out I'm actually not that bad at beating video games. It's easier to beat them when it's not a 2-day rental. If he finds out, he would be like, I won't accept any of this! And he didn't. He probably found out, and that's why he decided to go and mope in the North Pole. Just looking at Genova's head, no, you're my mom, you're my mom, you're my mom, you're my mom. Whatever else I read is not real. They falsified the files. Like, massive denial. And we are almost done with the comic, people. That was fun. And this kind of talk and situation is why I also have a secondary comic that I update at every 10 subscribers on Tapas. Like, whether you're subscribed to Bootleg Cookie or Irritated Replayer, it counts in the total. Because I like to talk shit about some of my favorite games. Because talking shit about stuff you like does not mean you don't like the stuff. That's how I see it. I talk shit about my friends. Well, usually to my friends. He's not like, no, I choose you, Genova. Thanks for an awesome show. Your comic looks great. Oh, yeah. You know you went full denial. I will not accept this. I cannot accept this. Dude reacted like he found out his mom snuck broccoli in his lunch. And he's super dramatic about it. What was his real mom's name? Anyway, Lucretia, I think. It seems to me it was like a name. And it was a softer name for Eris's mom. It's been a while. I beat it last year. One thing I do like to do whenever I start a new game, Final Fantasy VII, is rename Red 13 Nanaki. Just for the fun of them going to Nanaki's hometown. And like have the characters call him Nanaki up to that point. And then when they arrive, somebody calls him Nanaki and then Cloud goes, "Who's Nanaki?" I love that. It's dumb, but that's how I entertain myself. I'm dumb. Did you hear about the Halo TV show drama a few years ago where they broke the one rule of Halo? You never show Master Chief's face, and they did it? I did not. I think I remember that they made a show, but I did not know that they showed his face. Probably for the same reason in superhero TV shows and movies, where you gotta see the actor's face at all times, despite the hero usually wearing a mask, you know, to conceal his identity. We're just gonna do one last look to see if the comic is good, and then we are going to end today's live stream. But I hope Night Vanguard comes back next week, because that's fun. This is fun. It's hard on my throat, but it's super fun. You're a very fun person, Night Vanguard. Well, my kind of fun. I'm just gonna put a little bit of weight here. Am I on flat? I'm not on flat. There we go. There! Oh yeah, big friggin' difference against my skin tone. Or lack of. We have never seen his face in the game, so a lot of people were pissed. Understandably. And because it's the end of the live stream, we are going to the end screen. And as usual, extra special caramel drizzle chocolate sprinkle thanks to our supporters. All of them. Amber B, Pug. I am choking to death on video game trivia. Start over. Amber B, Paul K, Miss Enovis, David F, Marianne J, Carl Bloke, your continued support is immensely appreciated. As usual, there is going to be another live stream. I'm just going to check something real quick because we are pretty close to the end of the month. Yeah! So, there will be 2 live stream next weekend. There is going to be the Color of the Month Challenge live stream next Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm fine. I'm okay now. I cannot afford to die. So, of course, keep an eye on my Instagram, which is, of course, Sovarian Official Instagram, because I will post an art prompt in my Instagram stories. You guys can suggest what you want to see me draw for the color challenge on Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's my time. Not your time. Maybe your time. I don't know you. I don't know your life. And all suggestions will be put into the Wheel of Morality, and we will pick 4 out of those suggestions, and I will draw them live on paper. And of course, next Sunday will be the regular Bootleg Cookie live stream, 1 p.m. Eastern Time again. Hope you guys had fun watching me draw this. I had a lot of fun, despite choking to death. But that's on me. I literally have some water next to me and I'm not drinking it. And I will as soon as I finish the stream. I'll see you guys next Saturday and next Sunday. I love you all, and bye-bye.